There will come a moment, maybe today, maybe in the middle of your busiest hour, where you feel like everything is spinning out of control. Your heart races. Your breath shortens. Your thoughts spiral. And in that moment, you'll feel the urge to react, to lash out, shut down, or run. But what if you didn't? What if, instead of being pulled into the storm, you became the calm? What if you had the power to slow time, to silence the noise inside your mind, and respond with calm, focus, and strength? Because here's the truth, you do. And it's not just about deep breathing or positive thinking. It's about mastering the invisible, internal forces that shape your life. The same forces Napoleon Hill talked about when he said, "You either control your mind or it controls you." The greatest weapon you'll ever carry isn't strength or speed or even intelligence, it's inner stillness. Not stillness as escape, but as power. The kind that keeps you composed in chaos, unshaken by setbacks, and deliberate under pressure. Today, we begin the journey of building that power, brick by brick. This is Part 1, Calm is a Decision. Part 1, Calm is a Decision. Master the storm within. Modified and inspired by Napoleon Hill's principles, narration begins. You are just moments away from losing control. But you don't have to be. Because control is a decision. Your mind will follow what you command, not what you fear. That storm building inside you? It doesn't need quiet around you to die down. It needs discipline within you to stay still. This is where control begins, and chaos ends. In a few moments, you're going to learn a simple, powerful method to take back command of your mind. The same kind of internal mastery Napoleon Hill described when he said, "You either control your mind, or it controls you. There is no halfway point." Now pause, and really hear this. You are not ruled by the world. You are ruled by what you allow inside you. That truth sits at the heart of every breakdown, every panic, every anxious spiral you've ever experienced. It was never the outside world pulling you down. It was your inner permission that let it in, and that changes today. The calmest person in the room, you've seen them. The calmest person in the room. They don't talk the loudest. They don't move the fastest. But they lead. And here's the twist. They're not carrying less than you. They might even be carrying more. But what sets them apart isn't their life. It's their relationship to it. They don't wait for calm to happen. They create it. They own their internal state. That kind of calm. It's not an accident. It's not a personality trait. It's a skill. A habit. A choice. And it's available to you, right now. Storms begin in the mind. Storms don't start around you. They begin within you, in your perception. The first clap of thunder isn't in the sky. It's in your thoughts. The tightening breath, the clenched jaw, the spiraling, what if thoughts. That's when you must act, not when the storm has already ripped through your day, but when it first whispers its way in. Because that is the moment you reclaim control. Box breathing, a tool for inner power. Now here's the tool. Simple. Quiet. Bulletproof. It's called box breathing, and it's one of the fastest ways to calm the nervous system and return to center. Here's how it works. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Hold that breath for 4. Exhale through your mouth for 4. Hold again for 4. That's it. 4 steps. 4 counts. 4 rounds. And what it does is remarkable. It tells your brain, I am not in danger. I am in control. It's how you slow the heart, how you interrupt panic, how you return to power, and it's not just for crisis. It's training, like lifting mental weights. You start your day with it. Before the emails, before the phone, before the world shouts its demands at you, you breathe, not just to survive, but to set the tone. Day by day, your mind becomes stronger. What used to shake you now barely moves the needle, not because the world changed, but because you did. Calm is presence. Calm is power. Now picture this. You walk into a room. No one knows what's about to happen. There's tension in the air, uncertainty on every face. But you walk in with stillness. You listen. You observe. And when you speak, your words land. That's the power of calm. It's not mystical. It's not some spiritual high. It's a trained presence. A deliberate mind. A quiet strength that outlasts noise. Calm becomes your edge, not over others, but over your lesser self, the part of you that reacts, panics, doubts. Is calm your emergency exit, or your home? Now I want you to ask yourself something real. Is calm something you reach for only when you're falling apart? Or could calm be your starting point? What if calm wasn't your escape, but your home? Because make no mistake, if you don't choose calm on purpose, the day will choose for you, and it will choose urgency, noise, reactivity. But when you choose stillness, deliberately, repeatedly, you reclaim your greatest power, the ability to respond instead of reacting. Stillness is the foundation. We live in a world that never stops. From the moment you wake up, it's noise, deadlines, notifications, distractions. But let me tell you something Napoleon Hill understood deeply. Motion without purpose is confusion. Activity without clarity is wasted energy. You don't need to move more. You need to subtract. You need stillness, not as an escape, but as a foundation. Stillness is not weakness. It's not passivity. Stillness is the pause before the right action. It is clarity. It is power. The morning ritual. 5 minutes of quiet power. Here's where you start. Every morning, 5 minutes. No phone. No news. No conversation, just you. Sitting upright. Eyes closed. Breathing. You're not trying to fight your thoughts or force peace. You're just noticing. Watching. Allowing. And as those thoughts come, you don't chase them. You don't wrestle them. You just let them pass. Like clouds in the sky. In that 5 minutes, you reclaim the one thing that truly belongs to you, your attention. Build calm like a muscle. Do this before the world asks anything of you. Before the texts. Before the noise. Make those first 5 minutes yours. And yours alone. Then watch what happens. You'll start walking into your day different. You'll arrive composed. Clear. Deliberate. Not flinching. Not rushing. But leading. Not because life got easier, but because you got still, and that stillness becomes your strength. Final thought for part 1. Calm is not a gift, it's a choice. Most people start their day by accident. The alarm goes off. The panic begins. They run from one thing to the next, never really arriving. But not you. Not anymore. From this moment forward, you begin your days on purpose. Stillness is not some soft, spiritual dream. Stillness is the throne you rise from. You respond, not react. You lead, not chase. You own your world, not because you control the outside, but because you've mastered the inside. And it all starts right here, in this breath, and the one that follows. Breathe. You've already begun. Brain Part 2. Own your mind or it will own you. Discipline of thought, presence, and mental order. Narration begins. Your mind is not a battlefield. It's not a place to be conquered every morning. It's a space to be trained, gently and firmly, just like a muscle. Because here's the truth: if you do not command your thoughts, they will command you. And they'll do it quietly, in the background, every hour of every day. So let me ask you something. How much energy are you wasting right now on thoughts that don't serve you? On unfinished worries, broken mental loops, old conversations, on fears you've already outgrown, but never stopped carrying? Most of us never notice it, because we've never been taught to. We wake up, and our thoughts just start. And if left unchecked, they feed on whatever's nearby: a notification, a bad memory, a missed opportunity, a voice from the past. But here's the secret: you don't have to live like that. You can take your mind back. Memo the nightly clearing page, empty. The mind sleep like a master at night. Your mind is still spinning. You lie in bed, half asleep but still holding on to 12 different things at once. That's why you need one simple habit: the nightly clearing page. Before bed, take one page. Dump it all. Every worry. Every to-do. Every random thought. Don't filter. Don't organize. Don't fix. Just release. Then close the notebook. Fold the page. Walk away. What you've just done is told your brain, "We're done for today. You can rest now." And it listens. You sleep deeper. You wake up lighter. And here's the magic: you're no longer behind when the day begins. You're ahead. Sunrise morning thought declarations. Set the tone or be set by it each morning. Before the world touches your mind, take one page, just one. Write down 3 thoughts you choose to believe today. 3 sentences. Active. Specific. True to who you are becoming. Not vague ideas like "be positive," but powerful commands to yourself. I face the day with steady purpose. I lead conversations with calm. I keep my focus strong and clear. These aren't mantras. They're not decoration. They're declarations. They're the blueprint for how you move through your day. And here's the key: return to them. Before you enter stressful meetings, before hard conversations, before the spiral begins, pause. Read them again. Let the version of you who wrote them, the grounded, clear-minded version, lead you through the day. Sheaf of rice, you are the farmer of your mind. Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But if your mind is full of weeds, of clutter, fear, and noise, how will belief even grow? You are the farmer of your mental soil. If you don't plant intention, the weeds will plant themselves. That's how doubt takes root. That's how small thinking wins. But when you choose your thoughts and train them daily, you shift everything. You are no longer a passenger. You become the driver. Person lotus position, anchoring with the senses. Presence is power. Your body might be here, but your mind is usually somewhere else. 10 minutes ahead. Or 10 years behind. You're in the meeting, but you're also in the argument from last night. You're with your family, but thinking about your inbox. And this is how we lose life, not in huge events, but in tiny distracted moments. But presence? Presence is power. Here's a powerful technique. Once every hour, pause. And no one needs to know. Just stop for 20 seconds. Then anchor with your senses. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice the air against your skin. Listen to the background hum. Smell the air. Look around, and really look. What you're doing is calling your mind back from the edge. You're saying, "Come home. Right here. Right now." When you live in this way, Even just for moments, you speak less, but say more. You listen better, and you're heard more deeply. Because presence can't be faked. And the people who live in the moment, they are the ones who change the moment. Brain thought fasting, mental discipline for modern chaos. Here's the final practice. And it's not easy, but it's transformative. Thought fasting. Just like your body needs a break from food to reset, your mind needs a break from reactivity. Every day, choose 1 hour, and during that hour, refuse to entertain any negative, reactive, or useless thought. You're not pretending they don't exist, you're just not letting them lead. A fear shows up. Notice it, then let it pass. A judgment arises. Observe it, then return to calm. You become the watchman at the gate of your mind. At first, this is hard. You'll fail. You'll forget. But over time, you develop the power to filter. You begin to think like a master, not a servant. Direct hit final words for part 2. You are the architect. Your thoughts are not random. They are the architecture of your life. What you think becomes what you feel. What you feel becomes what you do. And what you do becomes who you are. So take your thoughts seriously. Write them. Choose them. Anchor them. Fast from the ones that weaken you. Because here's the truth. If you do not choose your thoughts, someone else will. Your past. The media. Someone's careless words from years ago. Who has earned the right to build your identity? If the answer is no one, then it must be you. Your mind is your kingdom. No one else wears the crown. Part 3. Thought Discipline. The path to inner command. You are not your thoughts, but your life becomes whatever thoughts you choose to believe. There's a storm always waiting. A careless comment, a delay, a regret, a moment of doubt, ready to pull you out of alignment. But what if you didn't follow that pull? What if you could train your mind not to spiral? You can. Thought fasting is not about pretending your mind is quiet. It's about noticing when the noise begins, and choosing not to feed it. Irritation, complaint, judgment, regret, these are not facts. They are invitations. You can accept or decline. You can say, "Not now," and return to stillness. This isn't a performance. It's a discipline. You'll slip, often. You'll chase thoughts you said you wouldn't. You'll argue with moments long gone. That's okay. The win isn't in perfection. It's in the return. Each time you catch yourself, each time you say no to mental drama, you build resilience. One small refusal at a time, you go from servant to master of your mind. Imagine this: Yuri walking into your day. A plan falls apart. Someone disappoints you. Your body tenses. Your inner voice whispers, "Why me? Why again?" But this time, you don't go with it. You pause, you exhale, you say, "Not today!" And just like that, the wave passes. You didn't silence your mind, you commanded it. Think back. How many good days have been lost, not by events, but by the stories you kept replaying? How many hours have been hijacked by invisible arguments that never needed to happen? You didn't lose peace because of what happened. You lost it because of what you fed. Thought fasting isn't about emptying the mind. It's about filtering. It's the conscious choice to no longer inhale every fear, every doubt, every old voice. Because most of your thoughts, they're not even yours. They're echoes, leftovers, unexamined noise. And the more you let them pass, the more freedom you reclaim. You become alert, disciplined, calm, not because the world is calm, but because you are no longer handing your mind to chaos. This is mental sovereignty, and it begins not in some dramatic breakthrough, but in the small, quiet refusals. No, I don't chase that thought. No, I don't build that story. And from those refusals, a new strength rises. Section 7. Movement as medicine. Your mind doesn't always need logic. Sometimes, it just needs your body to move. Stress lives in the body, shoulders hunched, jaw clenched, fingers restless. You sit too long. Think too long. The mind loops because the body is locked. But tension doesn't release through thinking. It releases through motion. Conscious walking, a simple, ancient practice. Not for fitness, not for step counts. For presence. Each day, take just 10 minutes. No phone. No music. No destination. Just walk. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel your arms swinging loosely. Feel the air touch your skin. Let the pace be slow. Let your breath lead the way. And as your body moves, your mind will settle. Your nervous system softens. The fog clears. Not because you figured everything out, but because you stopped gripping so hard. You remembered, you don't have to solve it all right now. You just have to return to now. Imagine walking off a stressful morning, not into more noise, but into nature, pavement, or even your own street. Step by step, your mind untangles. That's the gift. Not escape. Connection. Not avoiding the storm, but walking through it with grace. Section 8. Structure creates stillness. Uncertainty is chaos's closest friend. It creeps in through the cracks, turns moments of pause into spirals of worry. But there's an antidote. Structure. Not rigid schedules. Not punishment. Rhythm. Your mind craves rhythm more than you realize. And without it, the day becomes one reaction after another. But with it, peace becomes the default. Try this. Anchor your day with just 3 fixed points, 1 in the morning, 1 midday, and 1 in the evening. 5 minutes of silence before sunrise. A peaceful, undisturbed lunch. 10 minutes of reflection before bed. That's it. 3 simple beats. These aren't chores, they're anchors. When everything else spins, they hold. When you keep these sacred, your mind learns to trust that space will come. It no longer scrambles for relief. It softens. You're no longer a passenger in your day. You're the architect. Section 9. Lead the day before it begins. The most powerful mornings are planted the night before. When you sleep without direction, you wake into confusion. But when you close the day with clarity, you rise with intention. Here's the method. Pre-lead your morning. Before bed, take 5 minutes. Write down just 3 simple actions you will take when you wake up. Not your whole to-do list, just 3. Drink water. Stretch for 60 seconds. Write a line in your journal. These aren't meant to impress anyone. They're meant to ground you. When you open your eyes, there's no question. No scrolling. No mental tug-of-war. Just movement, clarity, command. The message to your mind is loud and clear. I lead this day. Not the chaos. Not the notifications. Me. You've denied the day the chance to hijack you. You've stepped into it on your own terms. And that energy flows through everything else. 1 Strong root gives rise to the whole tree. Final reflection. Stillness. Rhythm. Presence. They are not traits. They are not talents. They are trained. When you guide your thoughts, move your body with awareness, and build daily rhythms, you stop living reactively. You start living by design. This is how you build an unshakable life. 1 page, 1 breath, one moment of discipline at a time. So I ask you again, will you end your day with noise or with command? Will you begin your morning by accident or by design? Because if you don't lead the day will lead you.
Part 4. Build mental fortitude. How to stay strong when everything feels uncertain. There are moments when life shakes you. The phone rings and brings bad news. A door closes. A dream stalls. A person you trusted walks away. Or maybe it's quieter than that. Maybe you just wake up one morning and everything feels heavy, foggy, like you're drifting through the hours with no clear direction. This is the place where most people fall apart, where self-doubt creeps in and says, "You're not strong enough," where fear whispers, "What if this never gets better?" But here's what I want you to know. Mental strength is not about pretending things are fine when they're not. It's about standing in the storm and saying, "Even this will not break me." Mental fortitude is the decision to keep moving forward when everything inside you wants to give up. And it's not something you're born with. It's something you build, brick by brick, day by day. Let me show you how. Point 1. Train the inner voice. We all have a voice inside our head. That voice can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Most people let this voice run wild. It criticizes. It doubts. It replays mistakes. But mentally strong people don't let that voice lead. They train it. They feed it better words, clear words, empowering ones. When the inner voice says, "I can't do this," they don't agree. They respond, "This is hard, but I've faced harder." When the voice says, "What if I fail?" they answer, "What if I fly?" Every day, write one sentence your future self needs to hear. One sentence you will return to when the pressure builds. That sentence becomes a lifeline, a mental anchor, not someday. Today. Point 2. Do hard things on purpose. Comfort is not your friend. It makes you soft, weak. Over time, it shrinks your ability to face difficulty. But discomfort, chosen discomfort, makes you unshakable. The strongest minds are not born in quiet rooms. They are forged in challenge. So do something hard. Every day. On purpose. Take the cold shower. Make the difficult phone call. Wake up an hour earlier. Speak the truth you've been avoiding. The act doesn't need to be dramatic. It just needs to stretch you. Each time you lean into discomfort, you build a stronger mind, a braver spirit, and over time, what used to scare you becomes small. Point 3. Use setbacks as training. Most people think strength means winning. But real mental strength is revealed when you lose and keep going. When things fall apart and you rebuild anyway. Setbacks are not signs to stop. They are invitations to grow, to reevaluate, to rise stronger. Every disappointment carries with it a lesson. And if you listen close, the pain will teach you what the success never could. Failure is not a flaw. It's the process. Don't just survive your setbacks. Study them. Ask, what is life trying to teach me here? What is being built in me right now that I'll need later? Your mindset in the valley determines how high your next peak will be. Point 4. Stay present, even when it hurts. When pain comes, our instinct is to run, to distract, to numb. We scroll, we eat, we overwork. Anything to avoid the feeling. But mental strength is the ability to sit with discomfort, to let the hurt speak without letting it rule, Because what we don't feel, we can't heal. The storm inside doesn't get smaller because you hide from it. It gets smaller because you face it. You sit in it. You breathe through it. And you remind yourself, I am safe. I am capable. I will not be undone by this. Even the most painful feelings lose power when they are met with presence. Point 5. Create rituals that anchor you. Strong minds do not rely on motivation. They rely on rhythm. Ritual. Repetition. In hard seasons, motivation disappears. You won't always feel strong. You won't always feel focused. But if you've built simple rituals, you don't need to feel perfect to keep going. A 5-minute breath work in the morning. A nightly walk. A moment of stillness before sleep. A notebook where you empty your racing thoughts. These are not just habits. They are anchors. When life gets rough, they pull you back to center. Without structure, the mind wanders into chaos. But with it, you stay grounded, even when everything else feels unstable. Point 6. Build a mind that speaks possibility. If your mind is filled with limitation, your life will reflect that. But if your thoughts are filled with possibility, everything begins to shift. Every challenge becomes a puzzle to solve. Every setback becomes part of the build-up. Every moment becomes meaningful. You must choose this lens on purpose. Read books that stretch you. Listen to voices that lift you. Write down what is possible, not just what is wrong. The world trains us to expect the worst. You must train yourself to imagine the best. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about choosing a better one and becoming the kind of person who can create it. Closing reflection. The mind is your most powerful tool. But it's also your most dangerous weapon if left untamed. Mental strength is not about pretending you're okay. It's about learning how to stay grounded even when you're not. Every breath you take in awareness, every time you return to your focus, every time you rise after being knocked down, that is strength. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are their commander. And that power? It is available to you right now. So tomorrow, when life tests you, and it will, don't just survive it. Stand in it. Grow through it. Become stronger because of it. Brick by brick. Step by step. Thought by thought. You are building a mind that bends but does not break. A mind that leads your life, not follows. A mind that becomes unshakable. Let me know when you're ready for part 5.
Part 5. Mastering your identity. Become the person who succeeds. Every action you take is a vote for the kind of person you believe you are. Let that sink in. It's not just about what you do. It's about who you are becoming while you do it. Most people try to change their lives by focusing on goals. They say, I want to be rich. I want to be in shape. I want to be confident. But they skip the deeper truth. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. To change your results, you must change your identity. Who are you becoming, not someday? Today. Let's go deeper. 1. Start with, I am. The 2 most powerful words in your life are, I am. Because whatever you put after those words, your mind believes. Say, I am tired, and your body obeys. Say, I am not good enough, and your actions will reflect it. Say, I am powerful, and your decisions will begin to match. So here's your daily ritual. Every morning, write down 3 I am statements based on who you want to become, not who you were yesterday, not who others think you are, but who you choose to be now. For example, I am calm under pressure. I am a person of integrity. I am building a life I'm proud of. Write it. Speak it. Believe it. Then act like it's already true. Identity isn't fixed. It's forged. 2. Don't fake confidence. Earn it through reps. Confidence doesn't come from reading quotes or pumping yourself up in front of the mirror. It comes from evidence. You become confident when you keep promises to yourself. You build pride when you show up on the hard days. You trust yourself when your actions match your intentions. Point 1. Small action today, repeated tomorrow, and again the next day. That's how confidence is built. So stop waiting to feel ready. Act like the person you want to become, and that identity will rise to meet you. 3. Use environment to shape behavior. We love to think we're in full control of ourselves. But the truth is, we are deeply shaped by the spaces, people, and systems around us. Your phone, your kitchen, your bedroom, your social circle. Every part of your environment is either helping your identity or harming it. Want to be focused? Remove distraction. Want to be healthy? Stock your fridge with better choices. Want to grow? Spend time with people who challenge you to level up. Stop trying to rely on discipline alone. Start designing a life that makes the right choices easier. Your environment is not neutral, it's pushing you somewhere. Make sure it's in the direction of the person you want to be. 4. Live by standards, not moods. Weak identity rides the wave of emotion. Strong identity stands on standards. Moods change. Motivation fades. But standards stay. Ask yourself, what are the non-negotiables of the person I want to be? Do they move every day? Do they keep their word? Do they speak with purpose? Do they stay calm when tested? Then lock those into place. Make them your code. When you're tired, follow your standard. When you're discouraged, follow your standard. When you feel lost, return to your standard. Your emotions are not in charge. Your character is. 5. Keep a victory log. Most people only keep track of their failures. They rehearse their mistakes. They remember every time they didn't measure up. They carry the weight of everything they haven't done yet. But the person building an unstoppable identity does something different. They track their wins. Every day, write down one thing you did right. Doesn't matter how small. I didn't skip my morning ritual. I made the hard call. I kept going even when I didn't feel like it. Those little wins stack. Over time, they become proof. Proof that you're growing. Proof that you're becoming. If you don't track your progress, your mind will default to doubt. So build a record that reminds you of who you really are. 6. Define yourself before the world does. If you don't choose your identity, the world will choose it for you. It will define you by your worst moments. It will label you by your past. It will box you into a version of yourself you've outgrown. That's why identity must be claimed. On purpose. Loudly. Daily. You must say, I am no longer that insecure version of me. I am no longer ruled by fear. I am the builder of my future. The designer of my destiny. And every time life tests you, you return to that truth. Not the noise, not the story, not the judgment. You, not perfectly, but deliberately. 7. Identity is not a destination, it's a direction. You don't become successful one day and stay there forever. You become the kind of person who keeps showing up, keeps evolving, keeps choosing alignment. And that's the real power of identity. It's not about arrival. It's about direction. Each choice is a step. Each morning is a fresh start. Each breath is a chance to return. So when you feel like you've slipped, when you fall short, don't wait to be perfect. Just ask, what would the best version of me do right now? Then do that. Again and again. That's how you live from identity. Closing thought, your identity is the foundation of everything you build. It's the silent voice behind every choice. The story behind your habits. The engine behind your growth. If you don't shape it on purpose, it will be shaped by accident, by old stories, old pain, old versions of yourself. But when you begin to shape it with clarity and discipline, something incredible happens. You stop chasing success. You start living as the person who attracts it, and the world responds. So today, stop asking, what should I do? Start asking, who am I becoming? Because once that answer is clear, everything else follows. Let me know when you're ready for part 6, the final part. Part 6, the final discipline. Lead your life, don't chase it. There's a truth most people miss. You were never meant to chase life. You were meant to lead it. But leading your life isn't about having all the answers. It's about moving forward anyway, with intention, with discipline, with clarity. It's about waking up each day and saying, this is who I am. This is what I do. And this is where I'm going. If you've made it this far, through stillness, morning rituals, clarity, presence, and identity, then you've already begun something powerful. You've stopped living on autopilot. And now, it's time to finish strong. Let's bring it all together. 1. Clarity must be reclaimed daily. Clarity isn't something you find once. It's something you fight for every day. Because the world will pull at you, with distractions, with noise, with urgency. And if you don't return to your truth each morning, the world will gladly hand you a version of yourself that doesn't belong to you. That's why your rituals matter. Your breathwork, your stillness, your morning declarations, your movement, your clear, written intentions. They're not small habits. They are how you guard your clarity. Every morning you begin again. Not as a task, but as a devotion to who you are becoming. 2. You must be ruthless with your attention. Attention is your power. Where it goes, your life goes. You cannot live with vision and feed every distraction. You cannot build discipline and entertain every notification. You cannot become your highest self while babysitting the lowest habits of your mind. So here's the rule. You must protect your mind like your future depends on it. Because it does. That means saying no more often, creating digital boundaries, letting go of urgency that isn't yours, turning down the volume of a world that profits from your anxiety. Your mind is a sacred place. Don't leave the gates open. 3. Work in blocks, not in bursts. The mind thrives in rhythm, not chaos. Most people approach their work like a fire drill, running from one task to the next, never really arriving in anything. They confuse motion with progress. But the best work comes from structured blocks of time, not scattered effort. Here's a simple model. Focus for 50 minutes. Step away for 10. Repeat. This cycle gives your mind a container. During those 50 minutes, remove all noise. One task. One goal. Deep, focused attention, then walk. Breathe. Reset. Let the mind soften before diving back in. This is not just productivity. It's mental endurance. You build a rhythm you can trust. And in that rhythm, your best ideas come to life. 4. Respect the power of ending the day strong. How you end your day is just as important as how you start it. Most people scroll their way into sleep. They end the day in mental clutter. no closure, no reflection, no intention, and they wonder why tomorrow feels chaotic before it begins. So here's your evening ritual, the final 5:1. Reflect, what went right today? 2. Release, what are you letting go of? 3. Recommit, who are you becoming? 4. Reset, write your 3 morning intentions. Point 5. Rest, let your mind trust that it's done enough. This is how you begin to own the transition from one day to the next. Your nervous system learns to exhale. Your identity grows more stable. Your clarity deepens, and you wake, ready. 5. Breakthrough is not a moment. It's a pattern. Everyone wants the one big breakthrough. But the truth is, breakthroughs aren't explosive. They're quiet repetitions that finally hit critical mass. The moment your voice steadies during a tough conversation, the moment you say no to something that once controlled you, the moment you realize you're not triggered by what used to destroy your peace. These are not lucky moments. They are the visible result of invisible disciplines. Day after day, breath after breath, you showed up. You built inner order. You chose clarity over chaos. You lived by design. And then, one day, the breakthrough shows up not as a surprise, but as a reflection. 6. The real goal. Become the person who doesn't quit. This entire journey is not about perfection. It's not about always having perfect mornings, or flawless thoughts, or total control. It's about one thing: becoming the kind of person who shows up anyway. You miss a day. You come back. You feel off. You reset. You fall short. You learn and begin again. The discipline is not in never falling. The discipline is in never abandoning yourself. Because once you trust yourself to return, no matter what, you are free. 7. The future belongs to the discipline. We are living in a distracted world. Most people are running, but not arriving, doing, but not becoming, performing, but not transforming. And the difference? Discipline. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more calm. More people who have met themselves in silence and returned stronger. More people who choose order over urgency, peace over panic, presence over distraction. You are not here to survive the day. You are here to lead it. That is what this series has been about. Not hype, not shallow motivation, but deep transformation. Build breath by breath, page by page, step by step. Final words: you are not at the mercy of the world. You are not a slave to your thoughts. You are not a product of your past. You are the architect. You are the author. You are the leader of your own life. And every single day, when you breathe with intention, act with clarity, think with purpose, and speak with weight, you reinforce that truth. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is where I'm going. Now rise with discipline. Lead with calm. Move with power. And build the life only you were born to live.